Welcome back. Thank you very much for staying with us. Now, Tshwane buses are running out of fuel. The city has been forced to hit the brakes on the services. Is this yet another example of a failing coalition? So as residents struggle to make alternative transport arrangements, our reporter Silindelo Masikane is checking who is responsible for the diesel shortage. Silindelo, good morning yet again. When we last spoke, it seemed the ANC was placing the blame squarely at the doorstep of the DA-led coalition. Talk to us about this.
Well, that is, of course, the opposition here in the city of Tshwane saying that the centre is not holding, saying that this fuel shortage was actually on the cards for some time now. We are at the Tshwane bus depot here in the CBD, and you can see we've got a number of buses that remain stationary here. And from what we understand, there were several that did actually go out on shift from around 4:30 this morning. Some of them, in fact, are making their way back. There's one actually entering the bus depot now as we speak, but to give us more context as to exactly how much longer this service will be running, because the statement was issued yesterday requesting residents to make alternative arrangements because there seems to be issues with diesel shortages. I'm joined by Mr. Silindelo Masikane from the city of Tshwane. Thank you so much for your time this morning, sir. Maybe just clarify for us in terms of how much longer the bus service will be running in terms of this fuel shortage.
You are correct in saying at 4:20 this morning we started operating about 90 of the 180 buses that we usually operate on daily basis. This shortage won't last that long. We are confident in saying that, given that we are having buses running, as you rightfully indicated too. Not long from now, there is a fuel tanker that has filled in Johannesburg and is destined for this depot. It will deliver fuel which will sustain us for the coming days.
So you say the next couple of days. At this point, what does the city understand about being the issue around the delivery of diesel or fuel for the bus service to continue operating? Because it does seem as though you're not too sure exactly when you will be getting enough to just keep the service running for the duration that it's supposed to.
Couple of days and beyond. We have other depots that have diesel. In the event we run out, we will direct our buses to those depots. We have about 10 that service the likes of TMPD branches, that services emergency services. So it's one city. So we will direct, obviously, the buses to those depots. The issue has been a migration of the payment system. We have SAP system, which is an old payment system, and we are migrating to a new system, which is S4 HANA. That's the new system. But then we experience some snags, and those snags that we experience limited us, cut us short of paying the service provider. So we have now reverted to the old system, and we have paid the service provider. Hence, I'm saying that the fuel truck is on the way. At any stage, it will be delivering that fuel.
Mr. Masikane, then perhaps talk to me about the fact that the ANC in the Tshwane says this DA-led coalition in this municipality is simply not working the way it's supposed to. Who then do we blame for the shortage? Is it this payment system you talk about? Is it the service provider, or is it the leadership?
The money is available, as I indicated, Slee. It was just a question of the process of migration. And as the sooner we realize that there are snags within the S4 HANA, which is a new system, we then had to revert to the old SAP system, and we processed the payment. So it's a question of processing that payment.
Okay. And then perhaps then your message to the residents of Tshwane, do they look for alternative transport? Because how long will this diesel that's being delivered last the buses that need to be serviced?
As you have seen yourself, we have 90 that are coming in and out, changing shifts, that are operating. We are hoping, as I indicated earlier on, that we will redirect some of our buses in the event that truck gets delayed to those depots that have fuel. To our commuters, the city of Tshwane apologizes profusely for the inconvenience that we have caused.
And perhaps then should they still be making alternative arrangements?
As I indicated, the fuel truck is coming in. We are looking forward to servicing our customers this afternoon, starting from midday until the end of the shift, until the end of our bus operations.
All right, thank you so much for your time this morning. All right, that is Mr. Silindelo Masikane from the city of Tshwane. I'm going to ask Joel just to show you that for now it does seem as though that most of the buses that need diesel will be serviced by a fuel truck that is on the way, that is expected to make its way to this depot any moment from now. However, it doesn't seem as though we have any confirmation in terms of whether the bus services will be able to be sustained, in the very least, for the next couple of weeks. But it does seem as though for now commuters are still being urged to make alternative arrangements, but the city saying that it is dealing with the issue and trying to make alternative arrangements in terms of ensuring that the buses do get the diesel that they require in order to be able to make their rounds and commute the residents of Tshwane. So for now, it's Mfundo. I think you can hear for yourself that it's a bit unclear as to who's to blame. It seems there are a lot of moving parts, and that at this point it's just a matter of trying to ensure that these buses get the diesel that they require to operate.